Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve. Welcome to Born to Achieve podcast, the show that inspires and motivates you to unlock your full potential and achieve your goals. With your host, Warren Andrew Pinder. Let's get started on this week's episode of Born to Achieve. Born to Achieve.
You are speaking right now to so many persons that just, boy, I know exactly what he's talking about. This guy, oh man, he must have he knows exactly this position I am in. And so many persons, shelter is a necessity that everybody needs, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Everyone with the high interest rates and, prices escalating, daily. This is the hope that someone wants to know, how can I get a home for myself? And here you are. So in that book, right? Like just walk us through now. Let us know you spoke about the banks, earlier. Tell them, let's try and motivate these persons to get up off the couch potato right now and say, I'm going to get my home next year. You only got 2 more months. I'm starting with David Webb. He's gonna stimulate me right now to want to do this.
That's the biggest hurdle, Warren, is getting someone to get motivated to do it. Exactly. And I have people that personally know me that I grew up with in Detroit, and they are still choosing. It's a choice. They are still choosing to struggle, and because they still have those beliefs, oh, it's not for me. It's always for someone else. It's just not for me. I don't have what I need. I don't have the down payment, the credit, and all that. And, you have to take that first step. You have to do it, and that's the problem. I said it earlier today. I was denying myself before I even went to somewhere to be turned down. I turned myself down. And that's what you have to stop, and my book, when I say that I relate with, people in those situations, because I'm from it. I've had my utilities shut off. I've heated my house with my oven before. I've been evicted. I've done it. I've had cars repossessed. I've been there, and so I know exactly.
Hold on, thoughts. All right. You've been there, right? So many people like, wait, can talk to me. my dad is bad. So they're afraid of rejection. I should speak it, right? But you gotta overcome that. One of the biggest things out there is especially where I'm from, when they hear the price of a home. My salary is only X, but what, man, I can't afford that. This is what you're dealing. This is what you're talking about.
Tell them 100%. Now let me tell you what,
man.
Of course they can. Of course they can. I'm sure in my book and a lot of my podcasts and my videos, I tell people, right from wherever you are, I've been there. I might have probably been there worse. These are only some of the stories that are funny to tell, but there's some struggles along the way, and it's hard times, and you don't have the money to, I have somebody that I was helping that's on a fixed income. They worked all their life. They did so well. And then when they got to retirement, they got on a fixed income to where I went over to their home. I know them personally. I went over to their home, and she had candles on. And in the night, I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, well, I'm keeping my utility bills low so that way I can have more money for food. And these are real struggles that people have, So I'm in my 50s, and I was looking to come into retirement, and I don't want to be faced with those things. Who wants to be faced with those decisions? Are you going to cut down? She would have blankets on to keep the heat low. She'd do everything she could do to keep the utilities low so that she had more money for her budget for food. These are real struggles that people deal with.
Thank you for joining today's podcast. We'll be right back.
Achieve Man, written by Warren Andrew Pinder and Dominique Bradford. This book passionately focuses on the challenges women have been made to go through and how to overcome them. In some cultures, being a woman disadvantages the girl child. This book carefully exposes the hurdles you might face. This masterpiece is the ultimate self-help guide for women. It reveals your true purpose and identity. Get your copy today. Available from Amazon.
We now return to today's podcast.
So I'm trying to talk to people that, are coming into that or younger, and don't waste your time. Stop wasting these days. You can start building wealth today. And so one of the things that I do, and I talk about it a lot, I've created my own income. So besides the making the money off the properties when I sell it or whatever I do, when you have the budget given to you, and that was with the banks or that was with the hard money lender or anything, you have the price to purchase, and then you have the renovation budget as well. Well, I do my own renovations. So I pay myself a salary to do the work. So when I close a property, no money out of pocket. Yeah. But now there's a renovation budget that's paying me my income from day one. So I literally get paid to buy a property. And that's not even talking about the money you make afterwards when you sell it and do all of that. So I talk to people where I'm from, there's a lot of people who are struggling. They're out of work. Not that they have good jobs or they have a steady job. There's a lot of people who don't have jobs. And I'm telling them that you can do this and get the renovation budget and start creating yourself an income. So you can put yourself to work from day one. So there's no reason to not take action. And that's the biggest thing is, you've got to stop your own. I tell my friends, you're held down by your beliefs. You're chained down by your beliefs, and you believe your excuses. Oh, I don't have this. I don't have that. You just have to take action. And I wrote my book because I wish there had been something like that for me, 20, 30 years ago, that I could read this and see and relate with the person, be like, okay, this person has experienced where I'm at. This person is talking things that I understand. I don't have this. I don't have that. And had I had that book, Warren, I think my last 20 years or so would have been a lot more fun than they were that I went through. So that was the motivation, to help people or to give this to my younger self. If there's anyone out there that was like me, and it can read this book, it takes it from starting at zero, not expecting you to understand any of these terms and breaking it all down, all the way through, all the way through documents, all the way through protecting yourself with the right legal help, all the way through every bit of it. So that's what I wrote it for.
That's reverse engineering there. That's like you're writing a book to help yourself that 20 years younger. That's exactly. That's exactly. You're putting the answers to all the problems, because guess what? There is someone out there just like you going through the exact same thing, going through the exact same thing. David, tap in like those who may not understand that, but the other opportunities that may be out there through the banks, as you said earlier, right? Someone that just needs to get up, and I'm afraid I can't. I don't know about the renovations. I don't know about I just need a home. I just need something quick. Just show, is there a difference in them going to the bank or whether using hard lenders? Just quickly, we don't want to discourage anyone. We want everyone to understand that, hey man, they can do this.
Of course. And so there's seller finance there. You can find someone who's trying to sell their home themselves. And just like the person out here, he found someone that had a triplex. And so they had one of the units available that he could move right into. And the other 2 units paid the rent for him. So the other 2 paid the mortgage note, and he got to live there for free. So there's that. There's seller finance, and they're out there. You can Google them. You can just Google seller finance. You can hit Craigslist. You can even go through Zillow. Some of the main platforms, Redfin, Zillow, but I really think Craigslist, Google, things like that are some of the lower barrier of entry than like what you would find on Zillow and stuff like that. Right. But then hard money lenders, I teach people right now, this is something you want to do, if you're ready and you want to make that first step, what do you do? Well, what I would do is I'd join the real estate investors group, Facebook group, something in your area, because there's always these types of things posted on there. Get on there, introduce yourself, tell people who you are, what you're doing, and be on there. Also, if you're going to want to work with a hard money lender, reach out to some, call them. What would it take for you to work with me? This is what I'm looking to do. And so, the pieces are there. The people want to give money. That's what they do. Hard money lenders want to give money.
That's how
that's their
money.
job.
Yeah.
That's their job.
Like they don't want them to sit in the bank.
That's their job. They want to give money. So you just need to make the acquaintance. They don't know you. They don't know you until you reach out to them. And so you got to reach out to them and say, what will it take for you to work with me? What do I got to do? What do I need to bring to you? What do I have to do for you to work with me? And they have 100% loan options. And so, it's just really, the banks will work with you as well. The banks will now initially going to work with your credit. They're going to want your taxes right. And so, if you have all those ducks in a row, great. You can go into the bank. Banks are going to usually require 25% down. They're going to require your tax returns, things like that. So if you're structured like that, fine. I wasn't in the beginning. I had to start these other ways until I could get those ducks in a row to come to the bank. So I used seller finance in the beginning. I used private money lenders. Again, I just reached out to some people I knew. I reached out to the guy that I bought the house from. We never went out and had a beer. We never did anything. I just said, hey, would you be interested in this? So what it comes down to, Warren, is just taking the first step and putting yourself out there. Exactly. Making those phone calls, making those introductions. That's the hardest part, believe it or not, is fighting yourself to make those first actions.
Now for a commercial break.
Achieve Men, written by Warren Andrew Pinder. In this book, you will learn the 7 steps to achieving your dreams and goals. Given the vision to share how the acronym of the word achieve can be used systematically in your day-to-day life. Each of us is given a unique gift from God. Get your copy today. Available in print, ebook, and audiobook from Amazon.
We now return to today's podcast.
We're talking about persons that may not, have much knowledge of money, but advise them from a legal perspective, to the safeguard measures that need to be in place in terms of it when they're talking about doing such things.
Yeah, sure. You definitely want to know what you're getting into. There's no doubt about it. This is all contractual. And so, the beautiful thing today that people have today that, people didn't have before. And the person that did the triplex, he didn't have any money. He did this with no money. He wasn't savvy. He never had done real estate before. Yeah, he actually thought he'd never own a property. He was, he was in his mid 40s. He had just accepted that wasn't his path. He never saw that happening. So what I told him to do, because he didn't have money for a lawyer. And this is not, I do not give legal advice. This is only for educational purposes, but
that's it. Yeah.
Use AI. You can take your, whatever the contract, whatever you're being presented, if you're working with a hard money lender, if you're working with the seller finance like he was, and they present all the terms to you, you can put all of that today into AI and you can ask, is this favorable toward the buyer? Are there anything in here that are, could be potentially harmful to me? And you can just run it through as a checker first. I'm not telling you to use that as the final, but you can go through that because you're not familiar with contracts. You're not familiar with legal terms, but AI is. And AI will go through the whole thing and say, well, this is very heavy in this area for the seller. The buyer have to beware here. It will point out areas. So the one thing that we have today, and AI is free online right now. The one thing we have today for someone who's not legal savvy or any of this jargon for financial terms. Run it through AI and ask it, is this favorable to me? And what should I be aware of? And it'll point them all out. So that's the beauty of today.
Oh, man, David, I'm telling you, man, from no money to millionaire, no money, no excuse.
No excuses.
No excuses. But we hope that this upcoming year, persons can begin to, in setting their goals for this year, make it that the situations that we've all had fun today talking about, change it by just taking actions to believing in yourself, understanding that I may not have the money, but I'm going to make some calls. Person's going to look at me and they start to ask us questions and they're like, you can't do it. Just keep calling, be persistent, go back to the yellow pages, find those numbers, keep calling, and but take responsibility for yourselves. Begin to do what it needs. Like you said, do the homework, the research that is needed, and start to put your physical responsibility to work, believing that, you do want a home, but it's up to you, believing in yourself, saving the funds and doing what is right to achieve it. Mr. David Webb, the No Money Millionaire. It's been great having you on this show. It's real. I'm sure it sparked and consciousness in conjuring up in the minds of many who would listen to you today. You're one of a kind.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me on your platform. This is a great thing you're providing, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be on here. Thank you.
But before you go, let our listening audience know how they can get the book. Let them know how they can contact you. Some may be interested in your platform. Just put your handles out there for our listening audience.
Of course. Thank you. And you know what? Again, talking about where I'm from and the people that I'm directing it to, I've made the book free. It's available free on my website at nomoneymillionaire.com.
I could tell it. You were having fun. You were having fun with sharing this. I knew it was something, right? I said, man, this book is you only putting the message out there. I kind of knew that.
Yeah. So it's available free. I don't want anyone to have barriers. Oh, I don't want to, the $15, because again, I know people who don't have lights on at night using candles because they don't want to take away from their food money. So I don't want to take their $15 away for the book. The book is available for free as a download. Get it, read it. It's at nomoneymillionaire.com. That's my website. It's free download. Right. You can find me on Facebook at No Money Millionaire, Instagram, the No Money Millionaire. You can just Google No Money Millionaire. You're going to find me.
All right. It's been trust me, I've enjoyed this, man. It's been a good interview. And you're doing some great works as well.
Thank you very much.
Wish you all the best.
Likewise, I appreciate being here. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Born to Achieve. We hope you found it informative, inspiring, and motivating. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends and family. Stay focused on your goals, and we'll see you on the next episode of Born to Achieve.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Born to Achieve Greatness. Please be sure to grab yourself a copy of How to Develop a Millionaire Mindset, written by Warren Andrew Pender with contributions from Dominique Bradford. How to Develop a Millionaire Mindset is not just another self-help book. It's a unique roadmap to the extraordinary, an invitation to transcend the ordinary and step into the realm of abundance. This book doesn't just inspire, it guides readers towards a mindset that actively manifests success. Be sure to grab your copy of How to Develop a Millionaire Mindset today on Amazon.